Hey folks, had some people ask about the sod cutter I had fabricated, and I'm just going to give you a quick video overview. It's better than trying to explain it in type. So really the whole basis of this design is real simple. I'm going to pick this thing up, but if you look here, this blade underneath, this was laying around at the shop, and this is all that's an 11-inch grinder blade. That's all that is. And I thought, well, it already has a nice contour on it, and it was laying around, so that was a great way to fabricate something on the cheap. And then really, someone asked if you could go wider. I probably would have if there was a wider blade laying around, but we have a ton of these laying around, and that was an extra one. And so what I did, just to make it adjustable on the side here, this is some 3/16 inch flat steel here, and I just put some adjustment holes here. I actually welded the blade right on, and then I welded these blocks on, and they're basically mounting blocks. So what you're looking at here, back here again, this is just 3/16 inch flat steel, and that was also laying around, and welded the blocks to that. I made a hinge system. I'm not going to take it apart right now, but this is a crude hinge system. So if you wanted to travel and move this, if you look up here, I welded on some, I guess some cheek plates, if you will, some ears, and that actually hinges. And you can unbolt it here, just flip this up. You know, in retrospect, I probably would have just put a pin in here somewhere, because this thing worked pretty good actually, and it's very basic. Now in front here, part 2 of this is just another piece of steel. This is actually 1/4 inch. I'm going to lay this on the side if I can here with one hand. It's pretty heavy. Okay, that's 1/4 inch, and then I welded a piece of 3/16 in the front here. That's about 2 inches wide right there, and I just put some whoops, there it goes. Now I'm going to scratch my paint on my tractor. That is just again 3/16 inch, kind of for a sled up here, a sleigh if you will, and that's at about a 45-degree angle. Let me put this back down. Okay. Now if you look back here, this is some scrap that was laying around. I didn't even have to cut this. This was a drop, and that was at 45 degrees, so I used that for support, and I just welded this in. I smoothed the bottom out. As far as the rest of this, I forget the exact dimension of the clevis hitch, but I think it was right around 8 or 8.5 inches. So I kind of centered this up here for height. So when this sits flat, that would be at about 8.5 inches or so. And welded these blocks on here. This is just square tube here, and here, and here for that upright. And of course that's triangulated for strength, and as well as back here. And you know, it actually, because there's so much give, there's about 3/4 of an inch of play in a regular clevis hitch. I probably could have just made this solid, because it'll actually glide on, you know, just the way it is, instead of having this fold up. My lawn's not so fancy that I'm worried about a couple of lines on my lawn, but you know, if you are, you can make one where it does pivot up and latch. So that's the basics of it. Again, not so fancy, but it worked pretty good. And my alternative was buying a single bottom plow, but really the only thing I was trying to do is remove the sod so I could till the soil for my garden. This is the first year we're putting in an in-ground garden. We were growing stuff out of pots for a while. So that's why I built this, just to remove the sod. Very, very simple. You can make it wider. I think if I can grab a tape measure real quick, I'll give you a couple dimensions. Okay. This is not the highest tech video ever. Let me grab this. Oops. Hold on. Okay. Righted the ship here. So right there, this is my maximum adjustment. It's about 2.5 inches between the top of the blade and the bottom of that plate. And that was actually my best adjustment. It got below the roots and all the grass. And again, sorry about that. The width, it's about 11 and just over 11 inches, about 11 and a quarter, 11 and a half inches. And I built that around the dimension of the blade. So very, very simple. I think if you got a little bit of fabricating skills, is something that's easy to do. So this is Brian. I hope that helps. We'll talk to you guys later.